Chosen one, stop scrolling. Something dangerous happens the moment you rise, something no one warns you about. Not your family, not your friends, not society. Because the truth I'm about to reveal is the truth they hope you never discover. They don't fear your success. They fear the version of you that success creates. And once you step into that level, once you touch wealth, power, elevation, you must understand this one rule that every awakened soul learns too late. When you get rich, never tell anyone. The shift in your aura. Your energy changes long before your bank account does. People can feel it. They notice the silence, the discipline, the transformation. And instead of being inspired, many feel threatened. They see your growth as their loss. They see your elevation as a reminder of their stagnation. That's why the moment abundance starts moving toward you, you must move in silence. Because people don't attack what they don't understand. They attack what they fear is becoming greater than them. The eyes that watch you. Not everyone watches because they support you. Some watch because they're waiting. Waiting for you to slip. Waiting for you to doubt yourself. Waiting for proof that you're not as chosen as you seem. And when you start winning, oh, they don't clap. They calculate. They don't congratulate. They compete. They don't support. They silently resent. This is why wealth for a chosen soul is not just financial. It's spiritual. It exposes hearts. It reveals intentions. It shows you who was truly for you and who was only near you. The spiritual reason to stay silent. The universe knows who can handle your blessings. And the answer is simple. Very few. You weren't chosen because you were loud. You were chosen because you were different. Because you carry ancient wisdom in a modern world. Because your calling is rooted in purpose, not popularity. Wealth amplifies your voice, but silence protects your mission. You're not hiding your blessings. You're guarding them. You're not being secretive. You're being strategic. You're not withholding. You're preserving the sacred. Chosen ones don't announce. They arrive. The people you must beware of. The ones who laugh with you, but never pray for you. The ones who watch your stories, but never support your vision. The ones who ask too many questions, but offer nothing in return. The ones who cheer for you publicly, but envy you privately. They don't want to see you broke. They want to see you beneath them. Because your glow challenges their shadow. Your ambition challenges their excuses. Your rise challenges their comfort. That's why wealth must move through you like a secret river. Quiet, powerful, unstoppable. The moment you outgrow them. Once you elevate, you don't lose people. You lose illusions. You don't become distant. They become unfamiliar with your new frequency. Your success doesn't change you. It exposes who they always were beneath the mask. You must understand this. Everyone wants you to win. Until you actually start winning. When your environment realizes you're no longer equal. That's when jealousy becomes invisible warfare. The truth about your calling. Being chosen is not glamorous. It's not flashy. It's not loud. It's lonely. It's sacred. It's divine. You were built for a different path. A path that requires a quiet climb. A private evolution. A hidden preparation. God doesn't elevate you to impress the world. He elevates you to complete your assignment. And that assignment cannot be protected if every ear knows your next move. Why silence is your superpower. When you speak too soon, energy interferes. When you reveal too early, intentions shift. When you share your plans, people place projections on them. Silence keeps you aligned. Silence keeps you focused. Silence keeps your blessings pure. Your wealth is not meant to be a trophy. It's meant to be a tool for your purpose, a tool for your rise, a tool for your destiny. And tools should be kept in the hands of the master, not the mouths of the unprepared. Every step you take now is shaping the reality you're stepping into. Your future self is calling you to move smarter, more silently, more intentionally. The chosen are always observed. By angels, by ancestors, by enemies, by destiny. But only the awakened understand this. Winning loudly attracts noise. Winning quietly attracts power. The path forward. From this moment on, protect your blessings. Guard your glow. Move like a whisper but strike like thunder. Let them feel your elevation, not hear about it. When you get rich, let it be a surprise. Let it be a revelation. Let it be undeniable. Let it be divine. Because the chosen ones aren't called to impress the world. They're called to transform it. Call to action. If this message resonated with your spirit, if something inside you woke up while listening, if you felt seen, understood, and aligned, then it's time to step deeper into your awakening. Like this video to claim your elevation. Comment "I move in silence" to affirm your calling. And subscribe to Ascended Awakening to stay connected to the messages meant for your soul. Your rise is already written. Now guard it, protect it, and walk into your destiny with quiet power, the power of remaining unpredictable. When people can't predict you, they can't limit you. They can't sabotage what they can't see. They can't block what they don't know is coming. Your unpredictability becomes your shield. And chosen ones, you were never meant to be readable. The moment you rise above the patterns of your past, you become a mystery to everyone who thought they had you figured out. They expect the old you, the one who explained everything, the one who apologized for shining, the one who made yourself small just to keep the peace. But the awakened version of you, that version walks in quiet authority. That version moves with divine calculation. That version understands this truth. You do not owe anyone access to your transformation. The danger of overexposure. People don't need to know your wins. They need to feel your growth. Because the moment you share every breakthrough, you invite every energy, good and bad, into your blessings. Some will clap. Some will judge. Some will pretend. Some will pray against it. And the chosen one must never confuse attention with approval. Some people pay attention only to measure your next step, not to celebrate your progress. When you keep your elevation private, you keep your spirit uncontaminated. You keep your focus sharp. You keep your purpose pure. The silent climb. Every chosen soul experiences a season where God hides them, where you feel invisible, overlooked, unseen, unrecognized. But this is not punishment. It's preparation. The most powerful transformations happen in silence. Seeds grow underground. Warriors train in secret. Prophets rise in private before they are revealed in public. Your wealth, spiritual and financial, is being built in a realm where no eyes can interfere. Because the universe knows. If people had access to your process, they'd try to interrupt your progress. Your silence is not you disappearing. It's you becoming undeniable. The shift in your relationships. When you start elevating, listen closely. The tone of people around you will expose everything. Some will suddenly act confused about your success, as if you weren't destined for greatness all along. Some will pretend they always knew you'd make it, just so they can stay close to the glow. Some will distance themselves, because your evolution reminds them of their own stagnation. And then there are the few, the rare ones, who feel your elevation and celebrate it without fear, without jealousy, without wanting to benefit from it. These are the souls aligned with your mission. These are the ones who see your wealth as a blessing, not a threat. But you will only identify them clearly when you rise quietly, the sacred rise. You are not meant to announce your ascension. You are meant to embody it. True power doesn't shout. It radiates. It shifts rooms without speaking. It transforms atmospheres without effort. Your wealth is not just money. It's confidence. It's wisdom. It's discernment. It's the ability to see through people's intentions before they ever see through yours. And when you carry this kind of spiritual wealth, silence becomes your armor. Discernment becomes your compass. Purpose becomes your oxygen. Chosen one, you are rising in ways most people will never understand. And that's exactly why they don't need to hear it. They'll feel it soon enough. The invisible preparation. Before the universe elevates you publicly, it strengthens you privately. It strips away every weakness you once hid behind. It removes the voices that once controlled your decisions. It breaks every illusion you once believed was truth. This is why chosen ones experience isolation before abundance. Not because you're being punished, but because you're being purified. Your spirit is being sharpened. Your vision is being refined. Your purpose is being protected from the wrong eyes. When you finally step into wealth, it won't be luck. It will be the evidence of everything you endured in silence. Every tear, every betrayal, every spiritual battle you fought alone. They were all building you for a level where silence becomes your greatest currency. The energy of wealth. Wealth has a frequency, and chosen ones naturally align with it before it arrives. You start thinking differently. You start moving differently. You stop chasing validation. You stop asking for permission. You stop explaining what you're building. People around you sense the shift. Even before they see the results, they feel your vibration rising. They feel your spirit expanding. And many don't know whether to cheer for you or fear what you are becoming. That's why revelation is dangerous. That's why your progress must remain hidden. Not everyone can handle the energy that comes with your destiny, the spiritual attack on success. When you rise, you don't just rise financially. You rise spiritually. And spiritual elevation attracts spiritual resistance. The moment your life starts aligning, something in the unseen tries to pull you back. Not because you are weak, but because you are breaking generational limits. This is why the chosen must protect their blessings in silence. When the enemy doesn't know your moves, he cannot interfere with them. When the wrong people have no information, they have no influence. Your silence creates spiritual armor. Your privacy becomes a weapon. Your discipline becomes a shield. The moment you outgrow your past self, you wake up one day and realize you can't talk the same. You can't move the same. You can't think the same. You can't be the version of you that everyone expects. You feel pulled toward something higher, something purer, something sacred. This is the rebirth of the chosen. The moment you shed the old identity and step into the soul you were always meant to be. And with this rebirth comes a new instruction. Speak less. Move wisely. Protect your destiny at all costs. Because the more aligned you become, the more your silence speaks for you. And the more your silence speaks, the more the world feels your rise, without you ever having to announce it. The power of mystery. People underestimate the ones they can't read. They fear what they can't predict. They respect what they can't control. Your mystery is not a flaw. It's your spiritual advantage. When people don't know your plans, they can't sabotage your blessings. When they don't know your progress, they can't measure themselves against you. When they don't know your wealth, they can't pretend loyalty for the wrong reasons. Mystery keeps your circle pure. Mystery keeps your purpose intact. Mystery keeps your spirit untouchable. Chosen one. You were never meant to be understood by the masses. You were meant to be felt by the right ones. The rise that needs no announcement. There comes a moment in every chosen one's journey where you stop feeling the need to explain your evolution. You no longer crave validation. You no longer chase recognition. You no longer need people to get you, because real transformation speaks for itself. And when wealth begins to flow into your life, not just money, but clarity, intuition, opportunity, and inner power, you realize something profound. The less you reveal, the more you attract. The quieter you move, the louder your results become. The fewer people know, the safer your destiny is. Your rise doesn't need a witness. It needs protection, the spiritual cost of being seen. To be seen is to be judged. To be judged is to be misunderstood. To be misunderstood is to be targeted. That's why the universe hides chosen ones during their most important transformations. Not because you are unworthy, but because you are too valuable. If people could see what was happening inside you, if they could see how your mind is evolving, if they could see the wealth forming in the unseen realm, they would try to stop it before it ever touched the physical. And this is why silence isn't avoidance. Silence is strategy. Silence is survival. Silence is divine protection, the jealousy you can't see. Jealousy doesn't always look like envy. It often disguises itself as concern, sarcasm, playful comments, jokes with a sharp edge. And when you start elevating, people who once celebrated you start questioning you. They'll say things like, "Don't get too ahead of yourself. Money changes people. Why are you acting different?" What they're really saying is, "You're becoming someone I can't control anymore. You're rising in ways I can't follow. You're stepping into a version of yourself that scares me." This is why your success must be sacred. Your wealth must be concealed. Your journey must be protected. The internal shift that nobody sees. Before wealth appears in your life, a deeper shift happens inside you. Your mind becomes sharper. Your spirit becomes stronger. Your boundaries become higher. Your discernment becomes almost supernatural. You start seeing people clearly. Their motives, their fears, their hidden intentions. This inner transformation is the real treasure. Money will follow it, but the wisdom is what sustains it. And once you possess this internal power, you realize something. You don't need to tell anyone you're rising. They'll feel it in the way you speak, the way you move, the way you no longer tolerate what you once accepted, the shift in your purpose. Wealth awakens responsibility. It shows you that you're not just rising for yourself. You're rising for those connected to your destiny, your future family, your lineage, your community, your calling. This is why chosen ones are given wealth differently. Not loudly, not publicly, not recklessly, but quietly, sacredly. strategically, with divine timing. God doesn't elevate the chosen to flex. He elevates them to build, to heal, to break generational curses, to step into a mission much bigger than the ego. And missions like that require privacy, protection, spiritual insulation. The moment you realize who you are, there comes a day when everything clicks. Not because something external happens, but because something internal awakens. You look around and suddenly feel detached from the noise, the drama, the expectations, the old identity you were once trapped in. You realize you were never meant to blend in. You were meant to break cycles. You were meant to elevate beyond what anyone around you ever imagined. You were meant to become the one they whisper about. Not because you bragged, but because your glow became undeniable. And when that realization hits your spirit, you understand why silence is now your native language. The world will try to define you. When people see you rising, they will invent stories about how you got there. They will create narratives to make your success seem accidental, unfair, or undeserved. Some will call it luck. Some will call it ego. Some will call it change. But none of them will mention the years of grinding in the dark, the nights you cried alone, the trauma you healed without witnesses, the faith you held when everything looked impossible. They see the shine, but not the shaping. They see the elevation, but not the suffering that created it. They see the blessing, but not the battle. This is why you owe no one your story. Not everyone is pure enough to hold it. The sacred law of elevation. The universe operates on a simple principle. What is sacred must be shielded. And your rise is sacred. Your wealth is sacred. Your purpose is sacred. Your transformation is sacred. Not everyone has the right to witness it. Not everyone has the capacity to understand it. Not everyone has the heart to celebrate it. When God elevates you, He closes the ears of those who would misuse your testimony. He blinds the eyes of those who would sabotage your progress. He silences the voices of those who would infect your belief. Your silence isn't secrecy. It's spiritual obedience. The silent authority you gain. When you stop explaining yourself, you gain power. When you stop sharing every win, you gain mystery. When you stop announcing your moves, you gain momentum. People sense your authority without you ever raising your voice. They feel your elevation in your energy. They feel your confidence when you walk into a room. They feel your shift even if they don't understand it. That's the beauty of rising quietly. You don't have to prove anything. Your presence proves it for you. Where once you sought validation, now you seek purpose. Where once you wanted recognition, now you want alignment. Where once you needed support, now you rely on spirit. This is the silent authority of the chosen, the unspoken distance success creates. Success creates distance, not because you walk away from people, but because they stop walking with you. The conversations change. The priorities change. The mindset changes. The frequency changes. You are no longer available for gossip, for negativity, for small thinking, for spiritual stagnation. Your elevation exposes who is truly meant to rise with you, and who was only meant to accompany your earlier chapters. This distance is not loss. It is alignment. It is growth. It is destiny making room for your next level, the wealth that starts within. Before wealth touches your hands, it touches your mindset. It reshapes the way you think about opportunity, discipline, relationships, and purpose. You begin to crave solitude over noise, growth over comfort, truth over approval, elevation over distraction. This inner shift is the true beginning of your riches. Material wealth is simply the manifestation of the spiritual wealth you have quietly built inside yourself. And because this wealth starts within, sharing it too soon exposes it to spirits that have not evolved with you. Their fears try to limit your expansion. Their doubts try to cloud your vision. Their jealousy tries to corrupt your path. So you learn. The richest moves are made in silence. Because noise invites interference, the danger of celebrating too early. Many chosen ones sabotage their blessings, not because of mistakes, but because of exposure. They announce before they're ready. They celebrate before they're stable. They reveal before they're protected. And the moment you share your breakthrough, someone somewhere begins to question it, doubt it, envy it, or try to interfere with it. Some blessings are too fragile to survive the wrong ears. Some dreams collapse under the weight of other people's opinions. Some spiritual breakthroughs can be reversed when the wrong energy attaches to them. This is why your wealth, especially in the beginning, must remain hidden like a seed in the soil, protected from everything that could destroy it. Before it grows strong enough to stand on its own, the loneliness of elevation. The higher you rise, the more you'll feel alone. But this loneliness is not emptiness. It is purification. It removes the voices that distract. It removes the connections that drain. It removes the people who are not aligned with your next level. Elevation requires emotional detachment. It forces you to let go of familiar energies that cannot breathe in your new atmosphere. And while it may feel like isolation, it's actually sacred separation. It's God pulling you away from anything that would contaminate your blessings, anything that would pollute your purpose, anything that would slow your growth. This loneliness is the evidence that you're no longer who you used to be. You're becoming who you were always meant to be. The unspoken truth about success. People don't envy your money. They envy your transformation, your confidence, your courage, your resilience, your ability to rise despite everything designed to break you. They envy the parts of you they can't duplicate, the discipline they lack, the mindset they never developed, the spiritual connection they ignored. This is why they attack your blessings. Not because they want what you have, but because they fear what you represent. Proof that they could have risen too, but chose not to. So understand this. Your success will trigger people who have not done the work you've done. Your silence is the boundary that keeps their insecurity from interfering with your destiny, the emergence of your true identity. You reach a point where you no longer hide your light, but you no longer showcase it either. You simply are. You move with quiet confidence. You speak with authority, not volume. You choose peace over validation. You choose purpose over applause. This is the stage where chosen ones become unstoppable. Not because they shout louder, but because they understand who they are, without needing to convince anyone. Your identity becomes untouchable. Your spirit becomes unshakable. And your destiny becomes undeniable, the frequency you carry now. As you rise, your energy stops matching the environments you once tolerated. You walk into rooms and feel instantly disconnected. Not because you're arrogant, but because your spirit no longer fits small spaces. People feel this shift before they understand it. They sense the elevation in your silence, the strength in your stillness, the power in your presence. And this confuses them, because they're used to you explaining yourself. overgiving, oversharing, overproving. But when your frequency rises, your explanations stop. Your access becomes limited. Your boundaries become non-negotiable. You stop justifying your growth to people who aren't growing with you, the weight of other people's expectations. You are conditioned to make others comfortable, even at the cost of your own expansion, to shrink yourself, to dim your intuition, to silence your calling. But chosen ones don't stay small forever. There comes a moment when the weight of other people's expectations becomes too heavy for the rising version of you to carry. You realize their expectations were never your destiny. Their opinions were never your path. Their comfort was never your responsibility. And with that realization, you set yourself free, quietly, powerfully, permanently. This freedom is why you must rise without announcing it. Because the moment you step out of their box, they will try to pull you back into it. The transformation that cannot be reversed. Your mindset is changing in ways you cannot unsee. Your awareness is expanding in ways you cannot undo. Your sensitivity to energy is sharpening in ways that make old environments feel foreign. This transformation is irreversible. Once your soul wakes up, it cannot go back to sleep. Once your purpose calls, you cannot pretend you don't hear it. Once your destiny begins, you cannot return to who you were. This is why silence becomes natural, not forced, not strategic, simply natural. The higher you rise, the less you feel the need to speak. The envy behind the smiles. Not every smile is sincere. Not every congratulations is pure. Not every "I'm happy for you" is honest. Some people monitor your life just to measure their own worth. Some people stay close to you just to stay close to your progress. Some people compliment you just to disguise their discomfort. They don't want you poor or broken. They want you manageable, predictable, familiar, non-threatening. Your rise disrupts their comfort. Your glow exposes their insecurity. Your success highlights their lack of discipline. This is why your wealth must remain in the shadows. Until it grows too large to be hidden, the universe rewards the quiet. When you act without announcing, you move without resistance. You evolve without interference. You expand without external pressure. Quiet action is the most powerful form of manifestation. It signals to the universe that you trust the process more than you crave attention. You're no longer trying to prove anything to anyone. You're simply aligning. The universe responds to alignment faster than it responds to ambition. This is why chosen ones rise quickly. Once they choose silence. Chosen one, it's time to step fully into your power. Do not let anyone distract you from the rise that is destined for you. Protect your blessings, guard your energy, move quietly. And remember, every silent step you take now shapes your unstoppable future. If you feel this truth vibrating inside you, show your commitment. Like this video, share your awakening in the comments, and subscribe to Ascended Awakening to join the movement of those who are truly ascending. Your journey is sacred. Your rise is unstoppable. Let the world feel your power silently, yet undeniably.